Alright, so one day I decided that I wanted to look into augmented reality, and all the tutorials that I found online, they all involved Unity and Vuforia, which is awesome, but the problem is both of those are tied to apps and they can't be used on the web. So I decided to look for JavaScript specific AR tools, and I found AR.js. This was a really cool library. It had everything that I wanted. It was fast, it was web-based, it was open source, and pretty much works on any phone that's not super ancient. And if you're looking for AR, you probably have a phone that supports it. It was marker based, so it would be anchored to that marker, and yeah, it just had everything. So let's get started. Alright guys, so the first thing you want to do is you want to create a server. So I downloaded Express because you want something to serve your AR and your model, right? So here in the route, we're going to be serving up this HTML file called index in this case. All right, and we're going to be listening on port 8080. All right, now let's go to the HTML and let's build this. So what you'll need is, first you want to just set it up, right? So let's do our doc type, HTML. Now let's do our HTML tags. Alright, so between our HTML tags, we're just going to write our script. We're gonna skip the head. Go ahead and just write our script. This script here, this is going to be our A-Frame script. A-Frame. So this lets us build our model, right? That's going to be rendered on our AR platform. If you haven't heard of A-Frame, it's a very popular framework that's built on top of three.js, and it's really easy to use, and it's really popular for building models for a lot of VR and AR. Alright, what I'm doing now is on this second script, we're actually importing the AR.js library, and this is going to let us render our model in augmented reality. 6.2 /build .js. Okay, great. All right, now let's go to our model. Let's have a body here, and we're going to style the body with something very basic for now. Overflow hidden. Okay, and then within our body, let's create a scene. All right, this is through A-Frame. Okay. And within the scene, we're going to have a marker. So this marker is what lets our camera know where to render our model. And oops. So for AR.js, they actually have a preset one called Hero. This one is the creator of AR.js. He made a marker. It's pretty much this black square that has the word hero in it, and that's what is going to be the anchor for our model. Underneath the marker, we're going to have an entity. It's going to be our camera. Great. So here in between our marker, this is where we're going to put our model. All right, this is how it's going to know that our model is going to be rendered on top of that marker. So for the sake of simplicity, let's start with just a box. So our A-Frame box is going to have a position, the position is going to be relative to the marker. So if the marker is 0, 0, 0, we want our model to be positioned on 0, 0.5, and 0. This corresponds to the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. And you might wonder why the y is at 0.5, and the reason why is because we're not going to be setting a size on the box, and so that's going to default with a size of 1 on each side. So it's going to be 1, 1, 1. And because it's 1, the origin is technically in the center of the box, which means that if the y was 0, half the box would be above the marker and half the box would be under the marker. So by setting this to 0.5, we're actually elevating the box on the y-axis, so it looks like it'll be sitting on top of the hero marker. Alright, now what is this box going to look like? We're going to set that in the material attribute. The material is going to have color, and let's make our box red. Alright. So folks, that's all you really need for the most basic model. When you render this, it'll pretty much have a static red box on top of your marker, but I think it would be fun to kind of add something to it. So let's make this box do something, right? So again, using A-Frame, I'm going to add an animation, and this animation is going to have an attribute. Let's see, what is our box going to do? Let's make our box rotate. Okay, so our box is going to rotate. There's 3000. 2. It's going to be the axes for which the box is going to rotate. So it's going to rotate 360 degrees on the x, 360 on the y, and let's not have it rotate at all on the x-axis, or the z-axis. Sorry, pardon me. Alright, how many times is it going to repeat? We want it to repeat indefinitely because we don't want it to stop. And easing is going to be linear because we want it to move consistently. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all you really need for your very first web AR app. So let's save this and see what it looks like. So I already have it running on the server, and like I said before, it's going to be on localhost. So localhost 8080. When you pull up the marker, there it is, our beautiful rotating red cube.